I'm going to be very clear here. Even prime James Harden with this foot placement can't score this free throw. Really? Look at that. Square up to the basket? Everybody knows that. Oh, well, it must be luck. There is no way he can. Oh. But with all seriousness, knowing where to put your feet and what to do with it when shooting is very important to have a consistent and stable shot, since it's the base of your jump shot. So if you don't have a solid base, anything that you do after that have a huge chance of not going as planned. Luckily for me, one of the first things that I did improve in my jump shot and shooting was my feet. How to plant that base, how to move it when I'm shooting the ball, the so-called footwork, and so many other things that makes you become a better shooter. So stick until the end because we are going to cover everything that you need to know about your foot when shooting. And I might say that the last thing is the most important one, if you want to make your shots not only in trainings but in real games too. You need to have your feet well placed to shoot the ball well. The feet give you balance and precision. Just think how much harder it would be to shoot every 3-point shot with only one foot. It would be so much harder than a normal 3-point shot. This is obvious, but this shows how important it is to have a solid base, a good placement of the foot when shooting. The hard part about this is that everyone has a different jump shot. For example, if I shoot the ball square up to the rim, I would not be comfortable and I will also have a problem moving my shooting arm throughout the jump shot. So my consistency and precision would be very bad. So in my case, I prefer to put my feet in a 45 angle, but for you, this can be different too. To see where the placement of your foot should be, we see two variables: how wide they stand and the angle of your feet. For how wide should be, put your foot under your shoulder or armpit, and from there do the adjusts. Do you like even wider or more close? Me personally, I have a difficult time squatting to shoot, and I'm more comfortable with my feet more closed, like you are seeing on the screen. So do some squats with and without the ball and see which stand is more comfortable to shoot the ball and stick to that. And just to explain why you need to rotate your feet, the angle of your feet will also rotate your shooting shoulder and arm. So if you are a right arm shooter, like the majority of the persons, rotating your body and feet to the left will make your shoulder more open to the rim, making the movement more fluid and powerful. But for some players, a more square up stand is better. So what should you do? A great analogy is to think that your body is a clock, and it is pointing at the rim at 12 o'clock. Do your normal stance at 12 o'clock and bring your ball to your set point, and that is the point that you start to release the ball. And then see if you are uncomfortable being square up. If you do, rotate your feet slowly until you find a better angle for yourself. The recommended angle is about 10 o'clock, which was a 45 angle, and the limit is like 9 o'clock, like James Harden did. But do your testings and see what is the best hour for you. After training for some days, I developed my base very well, and now I do this naturally. This really helped me to get more shots in, since it increased my stability and consistency. But just in trainings. You see, one thing is to have all the time in the world to prepare mentally and physically to make a 3-point shot, like you do in trainings. Another thing is to almost off nowhere receive the ball and need it to shoot that shit, like in a real game. So how you can get to your stable base in the heat of the game. While learning about the feet placement, I discovered another important thing that goes side by side with your feet placement. Footworking. Footworking is when you move your feet in a specific way before shooting the ball to be in that solid base when the jump shots start. So, if you want to hit your shots in-game, you need to learn two of the most important footworkings, the 1-2 and the hop. The 1-2 is the most common and most used in games. It's recommended to use when you have time to shoot or is not very decided if you're really going to shoot the ball, since you have some room with this footwork to fake the shot and infiltrate the paint. The idea of how to do this is to establish your main feet, your pivot feet, in the right place before you receive the ball. And then after receiving the ball, taking one step with the other foot, doing the 1-2. Then you will start your jump shot. It's very simple, but if you are not doing this, you will see how much this simple thing will help you hit more of your shots. The hop is a footwork more difficult, since now the timing needs to be perfect. You do a little jump before receiving the ball, and you receive the ball mid-air, and then when you fall, you just do a little hop when shooting. The problem is more of timing the hoop with your release, but this footwork is way faster and you generate much power, so even though it's harder, if you can do it right and master the technique, you will shoot better than before, way better. Just be also aware that you can't bail out the jump shot you started, unlike the 1-2, because if you do a fake or infiltrate after a hop, this often will be called a travel. Also, hopping is recommended to shoot from pull-ups or leaving a screen, and shots that you need to release the ball quickly. After implementing all those mechanics, I noticed how stable I was becoming when shooting. And it doesn't sound that important, but it really gives you that balance to shoot more consistently and with more precision, in the same time that you can be more comfortable. But even when I was implementing these things, I discovered other mechanics very important too. And because of those things, I was finally able to make more 3-point shots more consistently and with ease. So if you are interested in increasing your power and becoming a better shooter, you might like to see this video. So comment below what should be the next video, and I see you